There we go.
All right.
Colby, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can now.
All right, we can hear you.
Okay, good.
So we should be good to share some of our conversation with church on Sunday.
Okay.
That'd be great. So thanks for doing this.
No, thanks for having me.
I would like to introduce you to a young man who has graduated from Help the Youth program in Haiti. And his name is Colby Massy. And we are very proud of him. He is an awesome young man, has done a great job. And we would like him to share a little bit of his story. So Colby, if you would be willing to just kind of start with how it was like to grow up in Nepali, the good and the bad, and just share your story with us.
Hi, everybody. Like Holly said, my name is Colby. I was born and grew up in Haiti. My story and like from where I grew up in Nepali, which is the village where Help the Youth started. Um, like many of you know, there's not a lot of opportunity in Haiti, but a lot of people, a lot of young kids like me are willing to learn, willing to have the opportunity to go to school and to go to college, but they do not have that opportunity. So I grew up in Haiti. I went to school and stopped going to school for about like 5 years when I was in sixth grade. And actually that's how I started learning English, because that I didn't have anything else to do but reading and listening to music, and that's how I started reading English to so Haiti, we as a people, we need education, and that's why a country is like that. That's why there's all kind of bad thing happening in Haiti, because we do not have enough education. So when I was growing up, all my mom taught me, when she couldn't afford school for me, she always taught me that my son, I can't afford school, but I all I have is Jesus. So she always forced me to go to church, even when I did not want to. And then that's why I'm who I am today. And I did not have all the opportunity, but when Help the Youth come around, it was a blessing to be a part of the program, and started going back to school. And it was a miracle, because like I never thought that I would be able to go to school again. I thought that was it. After sixth grade, I couldn't go to school, so I didn't think I would be able to keep going to school. And when I got to that program, everything was changed. So that's how I'm so that's why I'm so glad today, to share all the story, my story, how I got into the program.
Okay, you mentioned that your mom made you go to church when you were a child and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
tell us how God made a difference in your life?
Yes. I remember when I was 15, 16, I was not very a good kid. Even though my mom always forced me to go to church, I went to church, but I didn't like really care about like church. And until I realized, and I remember Pastor Antoine was preaching, there was a revival at the church, and then he was preaching. And that day I felt like I really need God. And then that's when I started, learning more about God. When almost every Sunday I go to church, I didn't really know, I didn't really care. But that's when I started, understanding the Word of God, and that's how he changes my life, and he like I'm who I am today because of His grace. And I started, going to youth group, and I started you know, be a part of the church, and that's when God changed my life. I used to be a very very bad kid. I used to get in fight. I didn't really have any respect for anybody, and that's why I always I think if I only had education enough, that I would at least know like what is right and what is wrong, and when I should do things and when I shouldn't. So when I got to church, that was the only opportunity I have that could change my life. And when I really, became a Christian, when I really give my life to Christ, and finally I found help the youth, everything was perfect, because I have God, I have education, I started to appreciate more people than I used to, and that was beautiful.
Can you tell us how Help the Youth has impacted the community?
um for right now, before I even talk about help the youth, let me say Haiti. I would say, like, Haiti is going like in a wrong direction, and you know Napoli, which is like the village in Haiti, it like from now on, I can say that there's gonna be something great that's going to happen in Haiti through Napoli. I think Napoli now have so many kids that are able to go to school, and because they are able to go to school, things are changing right now. Like, I know a lot of people that I grew up with, like, have that opportunity now. They are like doing a lot of things that helping them, that they can make money through that, because of help the youth. When I remember, like couple years ago, when we didn't have that, it wasn't like that. I remember my friend Sandy, who now she uses her talent. When she went to school, she learned how to sew, and how to make clothes, and now she's making clothes for not just Napoli, but for all the villages around Napoli. And she is able to do that because of Help the Youth. And I know a lot of tons of people right now that are working, that are helping the community, that are like very involved in any like problem that we have in the community in Napoli. They are able to help because they went to school, they learned something, they have something, they learn, so that help them, to help the community, develop. So now I know that Nepal is like a lot different than any villages. So it's very great to see how Nepal is, is become, and then how, where I think God is going, to do something amazing in Nepal. And then I'm very excited to see what God is going to do. I'm very excited.
Can you tell us a little bit about the leadership in the village, Pastor Antoine, Ticom, and how they have been a part of this story?
Well, a lot of people, I mean, I would say everyone in Nepal have, a lot of respect for them, because, they are the one who, introduce us to you guys. So it's wonderful, to have this kind of leader in our community, so that if we only have these kind of people, in the government, Haiti would not be Haiti today. Like, it would be something better than what it is today. So they are very, very important people in Nepal. So we love them. We don't want them, to stop doing what they are doing. We don't know how they do it, but they are doing so great. So it's amazing. Everyone in Nepal, have that kind of respect for them. If you have a problem, not financial problem only, but if you want, like advice on something, you would go to those person, because you know them, and then you know who they are. So you know when they say something, it's amazing. They always tell you what you need, So these people, we these kind of people that are the kind of people we need in Haiti right now.
Colby, help us understand why you weren't in school after the 6th grade. Help us understand why lots of kids aren't able to go to school. In the U.S., we have free education. And so there's no tuition unless you go to a private school. But that's not the situation there, is it?
No. Why I stopped going to school when I was in 6th grade? It was just because my mom couldn't afford school for me. She couldn't. It's not a lot of money. you don't need that much money to go to school in Haiti. You just need a little bit. But she wasn't able to pay for me. And then I have little siblings that weren't able to go to school either because my mom could not afford school for it. So Haiti, we don't have that. We don't have a free school. We have some school that are cheaper than other, but they are not free. So you have to have something to be able to send your kid to school. So if you don't have a job, you're not making money, there's no way you can send your kid to school. So that's why I couldn't go to school. And then I was not a bad student. I was a good student, but I couldn't go to school. I remember some friend that I had, I used to love them, but because I couldn't go to school to see them anymore, so we kind of like not friend anymore because we not grew up in the same village. So the only way to talk or to be friend if I kept going to school, but I couldn't. So it was very sad, And then I think that's one of the reasons that that kind of like made me a bad kid, because I didn't have anything else to do but do bad things. Don't go to school, and like you have all day free. And you started doing things that you shouldn't do,
So tell us about the beginning when you first heard of Help the Youth.
I didn't believe it because when my aunt, which is Tikam's cousin, when she was telling me about that, I was like, no, that can't be right, because nobody just pay for a school and then like you don't have to do anything and they're gonna pay for my school. I mean, I didn't think I thought that was a joke. So I went to TCOM and then started talking to her about the program. That's what I heard. And she said that she's so, she's so happy to have me in the program. And then when she said that, I was still, kind of okay with it, but I didn't really think it was gonna last. I think it was probably something, they help you for a couple months and then that's it. But I started for like 6 months, and then they didn't send me back home because I couldn't pay school. Like a year, and I nobody said anything, so I would just, all I had to do just have my uniform and then go. So I kept going years after years, and then you guys kept supporting us, so it was wonderful. And I saw so many people at school, they're sending them home because their parents don't have that opportunity to pay for their school. And then it's always sad, and that's why I didn't take it for granted, because I know how important school was. And then I could not just play with that. So I feel like that was a real blessing from God when I was able to go to school. So that was amazing.
So we started with 40 students, if I remember right, and you were one of those.
Yeah.
And I think Cindy was one of the first ones.
Cindy, yeah.
Yeah, and now in the last year or so, Lynx and several others have graduated. Can you tell us anything about what some of the graduates have done?
I know Lynx which is the guy that fixed my generator 2 years ago in Haiti. So that's what he does. He fixing people generators and fixing your car. Like if you have anything problem with your car, he just like fix it. So like before then, we didn't have that kind of person in Nepal. Like this kind of person is like, if you need to fix something, like for example a generator, you have to go to Port-au-Prince. It's sometime in Leogane, which is the city, but not like to have somebody like that in your community. It's beautiful, to have somebody that you can tell them, this is my size, make something for me, this is how I want it, and they buy all the material and make you like a nice suit. Like you didn't have that, so you didn't have all that opportunity. So to have all these kind of people in Nepal, that makes Nepal a very important village. Nobody does that in the other village. You don't have that. They don't have that opportunity. So
Colby, I'll say I mean, it's cool to hear the stories of how beautiful response has been able to help and support, right? And we see the faces of Al and Holly, but the hundreds of people that come around and help raise money and support is really cool to see. I guess from my perspective, I'm here at church with them, and I hear the stories and I can see the different people in the congregation who have gone to Haiti, and for me, hearing how much it's impacted you and the other students, I just want to respond with thank you and Nepali for the ways that you guys helped us, how you've changed the students who got to come a couple of summers ago and visit and learn what it's like to live in Nepali. And we still have the conversations. We still talk about when we would walk to your house and you made some cherry juice or something. I don't know what it was, but it was incredible. And just I don't know, the hospitality, all of the different ways that you guys loved and welcomed us was awesome. And I've got students who are like, okay, COVID needs to end because we need to get back down there. We miss those people. Those people are our people. So thank you. Thanks for welcoming us and loving us while we were there.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, for, having you guys down there. It's awesome, and then, to learn about all each other's culture it's beautiful. So, like you said, they said that, COVID kind of screw everything up, but I would love, for you guys to go there and, have fun. I mean, Nepal is still fine. How you guys left it is still the same way. But, what you guys are doing, you probably don't know how much, how great it is. You probably think, I mean, I'm just helping with, it's just $20 or whatever, how they can help. But you don't know how that whatever you give is changing the place. You don't know how much it's people or, I mean, I don't know really how to explain it to describe how people are just loving it, And then the more you do, the more you see people coming around and asking you, can you take me? Can you take me? Because it's wonderful. Not everybody have that opportunity, So to have somebody, great group of people that are helping you with school, that's unbelievable, So thank you guys for what you do, and then I'll keep praying so God can bless you guys more and you can help us more,
Yeah. So the last year and a half has been really interesting, to say the least. It's turned some lives upside down here in the States. It's affected jobs. It's affected morale. How about Haiti? How have they handled COVID, and what has the last year and a half or so been like?
So a couple of weeks ago I went to Haiti. I was down there in Nepali, and when I went there, I don't know, it's just people it's a different story. Here, I feel like there's still, little people just still kind of arguing, fighting and all that. But still, when I went there, I didn't feel like COVID was a thing, I feel like they just kind of don't care about it, and they just want to be, family, and you don't care if there's COVID. So people just live how they used to live. From the beginning, it was a big hit because everybody was scared. They think it was the end of the world. They're all gonna die. But after couple months, and they realized that, I mean, some of them got it, but they do their own stuff. They learn how to, because we grew up we didn't have really medicine. So our medicine is leaves. We use leaves. We make tea, and then that's it. And when somebody gets sick, that's all they do. They make tea, and then you after a couple of days, you're fine. So they think, okay, well, if we get sick and then we can make tea, we'll be fine. So why do we have worry about it? We don't have to worry about anything. Let's just live our life the way we used to, and make tea if we get sick. So.
Okay.
Colby, I'm wondering if you can share some of your goals and dreams. What are your goals and dreams?
I have like I was talking to one of my friends. I was telling them like so many dreams that I have right now. It's countless. Right now I wanna help like people in Haiti. I know I cannot help a lot of people, but my family, they're still in like a lot of needs right now. So for right now, I'm working like almost like every day. So because I want to go down there and help my family, especially to have a place to live and all that. So this is something I really need to do. But my real dream is that I need to be a part of church. I want since I moved here, like after probably 4 months, it was COVID, so I didn't have any chance to be around church. So church just started opening back up. So I really want to be a part of church. I really want to involve in church. I really want to be because I know I have a call. God called me to do something, so I can't just forget about that because of work or whatever it could be. So I really need to pursue the call that I have. So right now that's my plan, and I'm trying very hard to be more involved in church right now, and then follow what God called me to do. So that's my number one goal right now. And my second goal is to be a great father, because I just have a daughter. I have a beautiful wife, so I want to be that man, the godly man that God wants me to be. So that's very important to me.
So is there any final word that you want to give us?
Keep doing what you guys doing. If God started it, He will finish it. So I really believe that God's not letting you guys down. So even when you don't see a way, He does. So we'll keep praying, and God will help you guys do what you are doing.
Thank you.
That's a good word. And we need that. We need that encouragement. And yeah, we appreciate that. And we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you make us proud to just have been a little part of your life, because we know that God is going to do great things with you. And that's going to be exciting to see. So
thank you.
So Colby, his wife is Morgan, and Morgan worked at a mission just down the road from where we are involved. And that's how they met in Haiti. And now they're living in Florida at the moment. Yeah. So we'll see what happens from here on.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.